Hey guys, welcome back to part 6 of my 2000 subscribers Q&A, and this will be the final part, so if you've made it this far, congratulations, and there's only a few more questions to go. Alright, next question is from Sino Shock. Are you a pimp? No. Okay, interesting question. Next question from James W1335. James wants to know what is my favourite Xbox game. That would be Halo Combat Evolved. I absolutely love it. True classic. And a stunning title for launch. Absolutely amazing game at the time, and it still holds up quite well. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's dated, you can definitely see that, but you know, the core mechanics are still there. The game's still a great fun game to play. Other than that, it would be Brute Force, which is just, I think I mentioned it earlier, it's just a great title. Really good action adventure, good action shooting, run and gun kind of like, it's just really good quality game. Definitely, you know, go and check it out if you haven't. Next question is from Attic1798, who wants to know, just wondering what your biggest gaming regret is. My biggest gaming regret would be, as far as collecting, and that would be, say, my Super Famicom collection. I had quite a decent collection of quite a lot of games, all boxed and complete, mint condition. I had a system which was boxed and mint with everything, the polys, everything, bags, the lot was all perfect. Yeah, it was really massive regret saying that. It was a really stupid thing to do, but at the time I needed to do it for the money, so yeah. And his other question is also, what is your favourite Biggie Smalls song? It's going to be predictable, but it's going to be Juicy. I love that record. It's a true classic and just takes me right back to my teenage years. It's a fantastic song. But any song from the Ready to Die album is just absolute quality. That is one of the best albums I've ever heard. Okay, next one is from two questions from EmoJoe1990. First question is, what arcade do you prefer, Golden Gate, Olympia or Grand Prix? If you don't know, EmoJoe lives in the same town as me. I don't know which ones are which, to be honest, dude. I've like scanned around the two in the town, and obviously been on the pier, and I'd probably say the pier's better because the pier's got more in there. It's got more machines. They're all a bit too modern though. There's no the old pier used to have retro, used to have Final Fight in there, which was awesome. But unfortunately, when the pier burnt down, we lost all that, and now it's all modern modern arcades, which are cool. But yeah, I like the classics. Question number 2. Do you prefer GameStation, MT Games or Amazon? Well, you can't really compare the high street to the online, because online's always going to be cheaper and a better offer. But going down the store is always better to buy from a shop. If it's retro, then it's MT Games all the way. You know, occasionally GameStation do have a couple of good Xbox deals, but generally MT Games is the place to go. Obviously modern gaming, I'd go to GameStation. I'm not a fan of game, and I am trying to like not buy online as much as well, so GameStation is going to be a good place to go. Next question from Botson22. A large killer whale is chasing you down the street using a mobility scooter. Okay. He's very angry and wants to eat your feet and possibly your legs. You run into the nearest shop you see. This happens to be Game. What would you buy from Game for the killer whale to stop it attacking you? So I've got to buy a gift for the whale to stop it attacking me. Christ, dude. I could buy it a Wii, but I don't think it could use the controls. I don't think its fins would allow it to use the Wiimote and the nunchuck. Maybe buy it a plush, like a Princess Peach plush or something, so it can have something to crush. I don't know. That's a strange question, dude. Right, okay, Sonky Sackboy. What 3 games would you like to see remade on the 3DS from the Super Nintendo? It's interesting because it's all just remaking games, but they've got to be relevant as far as the 3D is concerned, I suppose. Obviously Star Fox is being done, Zelda's being done. I think Axelay would probably be a good one, a good shooter because of the angle. Because the first couple of levels it's all vertical shooting. There are some horizontal shooting levels, but the vertical bits would look really cool in 3D. I think that would work well. What else have we got? Yeah, it's really tough. You got me there. I know what we could do. Killer Instinct, that needs a remake, it hasn't been done for a long time. And Street Fighter 4 has proven that the 3D can work really well for the background, so Killer Instinct would be excellent. I'd love to see that. And one more would be... Probably Contra, but I think there's a Contra game in the works. I'm sure I read that somewhere. I think that could be really cool with the 3D effects. especially the one on the Super Nintendo, like the bit where that monster comes out the wall and it like pulls the wall apart. That would look really cool in 3D. So yeah, that'd be an interesting one to do. And what else? Okay. Right, that was it. Okay. Next one is from Azamanazar. God, I probably just butchered that. I do apologise, dude. I'd like to know what games and systems you played as a kid. I'm looking forward to the room tour, which will be coming. As a kid, I played on the Commodore 64, and then after that, the Amiga 500. Don't know why I nearly said the Amiga 600. That's weird. Yeah, the Amiga 500, and obviously then it was the Super Nintendo in my teenage years. But yeah, as a little kid, it was the Commodore 64, which I got absolutely tons of pleasure out of because it was a fantastic system. I started on my dad's one. He had the original Brown C64, and then I had the Light Fantastic pack, which was the bigger white, sort of creamy white C64 that came out, which came with a massive light gun. I remember getting that for Christmas. It's just awesome. The Commodore 64 is still a classic. I would really like one, but it's all the aggravation of loading the games. It's just too much grief. Alex Whitney, another great YouTuber. Alex wants to know, how much roughly is your gaming collection worth? To be honest, mate, I haven't got a clue. I think with collections in particular, it's all subjective as far as, you have to really go by eBay, and eBay's not accurate because people just guess what things are worth. So the only way to really value it would be to go by auctions and to keep checking, ended auctions to find out what people have paid for games. It's a tough one. I don't know. I mean, the Xbox games, I've got about nearly 160 games, roughly about 157, something like that. So even if they got a resale value of £1 each, which a lot of them have more than that, like £2, £3, they're not worth hardly anything. But even £1 each, I mean, there's 157 quid's worth just those alone. Super Nintendo games are probably the most expensive games I have. Games like Axlay usually sell for about £20. And I've got 58 games in total, and if you added them all up, it'd be a few hundred quid. But I mean, it's hard to know really. I mean, it is, as I say, it's subjective because it's hard to get a true value of what the games are worth. I think realistically, the games are only worth what people will pay for them anyway, so it's all about putting a price on these things, but if people aren't willing to pay that, then you wouldn't get the money. Obviously, there's something that's a bitch to work out, but what kind of money do you let yourself spend each week, month, etc.? I've never really budgeted. I just sort of buy when I can. If I've got the money, I buy it. So, I mean, it would be probably better to budget, but I know I'd end up going over budget if I did try to budget my money. I just tend to just basically look at my bank account and go, can I justify paying that? Yeah, I can. I'll buy it. It's not the best way to do it because you can tend to spend too much, but yeah, I'm not very good at budgeting, unfortunately. Not for retro, anyway. Okay, next question from Resident Retro. And the first question, what's your number one game of all time? Really difficult question, mate. Yeah, it's probably going to be between Uncharted 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, between those two. Completely different titles, completely different genres, but yeah, I can't really pick between them. It's too difficult. They're just absolutely brilliant games. And what's next? Okay. So the next question is from the Bratters, and that question is, do you have any tips for upcoming channels? To be honest, only thing I can say, mate, is just get involved in the community. Just comment on videos like you've done there. Just comment on videos as much as you can. Get your name known and get yourself seen around the community. PM people, get chatting, just get to know people. That's the best way to get yourself noticed, I think. And then your videos will talk for themselves. If people like what you're doing, they'll obviously subscribe to the videos. Yeah. Me personally, I just don't think you should ever ask people to subscribe. I think you should just make your videos, and if people watch your videos and like what you're doing, they'll subscribe anyway. It's their choice then. I'd never ask anyone to subscribe to my channel. It's entirely their decision. If people want to watch my videos, great. If they don't want to watch them, that's fine too. If they want to watch them and don't subscribe, that's absolutely fine. If they want to subscribe, fantastic. I appreciate it. Just the fact that anyone wants to take time out of the day to watch the video is what's important. I think if people are willing to make videos, then if someone's willing to watch them, that's the payoff at the end of the day. You've made your video, someone's interested enough to take the time out to watch that video. And as I say, just comment and PM and just get to know people. And the more people you get, the more chance there is you're going to get noticed, because obviously the more people you speak to, they will check out your channel. If they like what you're doing, they then tell other people about your channel, and then it's all word of mouth really, isn't it? And of course people will also do shout outs on videos or promote your channel as well. So communication is the key. Next question from Holly, Doggy Mullins. And Holly asks, what's my most anticipated game of 2011? I would say Uncharted 3. I know a lot of people are going to say that, but it is really, really up there. I think after playing number 2 and being so amazed at how much number 2 improved over the original, the little bit I've seen of number 3, it's really, really got me interested a lot. The chateau level looks absolutely amazing. I like little things that they've tried to do, like the bit where Drake's foot gets stuck in the floor and then Sully's trying to pull him out and you've got to operate Drake and shoot all the enemies while Sully tries to pull your leg out the floor. It's a really simple mechanic, but it's a really cool little thing to throw into the game. And I like the fact that they are trying to change it up and not just do the same thing just to make a quick buck. They have, the good thing about Naughty Dog is that from number 1 to number 2, they changed the game completely. They really upgraded it a lot. And they didn't just sit on the laurels and say, well, we made a ton of money off the first one, so we could quite easily just knock out a clone of that and make a lot more money. Instead, they actually just expanded it, made the story bigger and more grander. They made the game mechanics absolutely tighter. The fact that they managed to get stealth into the game, and it wasn't annoying. They did stealth that was really simple, but really effective, and it was easily accessible, which I thought was great. The only thing that I want to see is just get rid of the boss battles at the end of the game, because to me that just doesn't fit, and I just don't like that at all, and I find them very irritating as well. But yeah, Uncharted 3 is definitely my most anticipated this year. Okay, we have a question from the Secret Game Room, and the Secret Game Room guys want to know, what is your favourite gaming console and why? You can kind of guess what it is. And also, what are some of your favourite games? So, when you say that, do you mean for the console it's my favourite or just in general? I'll just say in general and for that as well. Obviously my favourite console is the Super Nintendo, as I've said several times, because it was the first system I ever owned and paid for myself. And it just has a hell of a lot of nostalgia. And those games just take me way back to when I was a kid, and they're just brilliant. Favourite games for that system are going to obviously be Super Mario World, Mario Kart, Mario All-Stars, Contra, Castlevania 4, Axelay, Batman Returns, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Killer Instinct. There's just tons, basically. There's just a massive list of games, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger as I find more. And games in general, I think, as I said, there's like Bruce Lee on the 64, there's Hunchback, there's Last Ninja Series, Iridium, Armalite, I forgot what it's called, Hawkeye, Shadow Warriors, Xenon 2, Magic Pockets, classic game, Monkey Island, another brilliant game, Monkey Island 1 and 2, number 2 is excellent, Speedball 2, another classic game, Shadow of the Beast, which I know Blue Tonic was talking about the other day, which is an absolute classic. I didn't like the sequel so much, but the first one was a brilliant game. Games like Sam and Max as well, Beneath for Steel Sky, I like all those kind of games. And then there's games like obviously Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, Rise of the Triad, which was excellent. There's Quake, which was okay, I was more of a Quake 2 fan, and Quake 3 was absolutely fantastic. I even liked a bit of Unreal Tournament, that wasn't too bad. And then you've got Halo, of course, Halo Reach, Uncharted 1 and 2. I mean, there's just so many great games to play, Heavy Rain, amazing game. The Conduit, really love that game at the moment. So yeah, I mean, there's absolutely stacks and stacks of great games. It's just, finding the good ones in between all the crap. Okay. And also the Secret Game Room, I've also asked what got me into gaming, and that was my dad. As I say, he sat me down in front of his Commodore 64 back in the 80s with a copy of Way the Exploding Fist, and from that point on I was addicted to gaming. It's just absolutely brilliant, and I'm really glad I did, because the way the gaming has developed over the years to what it is now is just phenomenal. It's been great to be able to play games for all these years all the way through, from 8-bit to current gen, and to see the evolution. It's just fantastic. Okay, we now have 8 questions from Bookhouse Boy 77. Question 1, what do I work with? Well, I do temp work at the moment, so it's sort of like, it's generally I do admin work, just general office work, nothing particularly amazing. Are you single? I don't know why you're asking, but yeah, I am. What is it about playing video games that enthralls you so? For me personally, it's about, with modern gaming especially, it's about story and characters and the way the story develops. If a game has got a really good story like Uncharted, where it draws you in and you actually literally care about the characters and get that involved. Same with Heavy Rain, that is what makes gaming really interesting for me, what grabs me. with older games, retro, because obviously the story wasn't as involved. It was mainly text based, and you can argue that some of the stories were really good back then, but they didn't have that thing that just draws you in the way modern games do, because they're more. You got the cutscenes, you got the music. It's really over the top now. Back then, you were very limited to what you had. So for them, it was just a fun factor. Whether it be a beat 'em up or a shooter or platform game, just the fun. Fun's missing a lot out of modern games, I find. Number 4, when did you get into gaming? It was in the 80s, not entirely certain when. As I said before, Way the Exploding Fist, I believe, came out around about 85. I'm not entirely certain when I played the game, so it would have been around that time. So it'd be like mid-80s. And your favourite console, 360 or PS3? Definitely PS3. Country Mile, I'm not a fan of the 360 at all. It's got some good games. I'm just looking at this from a hardware perspective. From a games perspective, it's completely different as to how you view it. I mean, mind you, I'll say that exclusives, PS3's got better exclusives. That's just my opinion, that's just what I like. Number 6, how many cups of tea do you drink every day? Honestly don't know, I've never counted, but I'd say at least 10, 15, no problem at all. And number 7, what is your favourite type of brand of tea? That depends, because it depends which one's the cheapest at the time. Because some of them can be really expensive. PG Tips can be quite expensive. I tend to just drink Tetley or Typhoon. And number 8, how does it feel to be so awesome? I don't know, dude, how does it feel? Thank you. And next question is from the 123 Kidman 2. What are some of your other interests besides gaming? Well, that would be, I've got loads. There's movies, music, there's American TV shows which I'm obsessed with because I watch tons of them. There's just so many good American shows, and there's always good ones every year starting again. So any new show comes on, if it sounds interesting, I'll watch the first episode, give it a try, and see if it hooks me. And yeah, I watch a lot of that. Also, I'm into like history, science fiction, ufology. I mean, I'm into conspiracy theories. I'm into a variety of things. Just whatever takes my interest, really. I just enjoy absorbing information, really. But yeah, I mean, as far as entertainment's concerned, movies and music, movies especially, I love movies. Okay, we've got a couple more questions, and that's it, guys. We're all done. Next question is from Wendell Boy, who asks, have you ever been recognised as Snestastic off YouTube when out and about? I have only once so far, and that was in my local game shop, MT Games, which was kind of weird being noticed, but it was cool as well, because the guy that came up to me was really sound and we had a good chat, and he's a really nice bloke, so it wasn't so bad. But it is kind of weird, because I don't think I ever expected to be recognised in the street. And it's a bit stupid when you put yourself on the internet, you should expect it to happen, but yeah, I don't think I ever did. It's quite surprising when someone noticed me. And the last question, guys, is from a good friend Vidian, and his question is, which game that you played was so hard to beat that made you angry and made you cry in a way that you hate that game right now? I'd probably say recently it would be Enslaved. That game just frustrated the shit out of me. God, that game is annoying. I tried so hard to love that game, and I really wanted to enjoy it, and I tried so hard to complete the game, and I just could not do it. The camera just annoyed me so much that I just got that angry. In the end, I just had to switch it off and give up, and it was frustrating, and it was a shame, because that game could have been so much better, but yeah, they just spoilt it for me with the camera. I got very annoyed. So there you go, guys, that is the end of my 2,000 subscriber Q&A. I hope you've enjoyed it, I hope it's been interesting, and I hope that the answers to the questions were good enough, guys. And yeah, thank you very much for subscribing, everybody who has subscribed. I really appreciate everybody subscribing to my channel, and I just appreciate anyone who watches the videos and takes the time out of their day. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed the Q&A, and I'll be back soon with another video.